sharing space
on the Clement Manyathela Show.
702.
25 minutes before 12 o'clock, time for the sharing space. This is where we share our stories. We share anything that's happened in your office, at home, maybe when you were driving to work this morning. The way to share your stories is to send us an email on cm@702.co.za. That's cm@702.co.za. So today we've got an email from one of our listeners. I'm going to read it, and then you know the drill. Afterwards, give us a call on 011-883-0702 if you've experienced something similar, or maybe you want to advise the listener if they are also asking for advice. You can send your WhatsApps on 072-702-1702. So here we go. Hi, Clement, and your listeners. I have been seeing a very heavy conversation on social media talking about children not acknowledging the children their fathers had out of wedlock. And it was sparked by Mariah Carey's child saying she has only one sibling, even though her dad has many children. This conversation is heavy for me because I am an only child, fathered by a man who has 3 children with his wife. I am his firstborn. My mom and my dad were not dating, but they were involved in a fling. My dad then married his wife soon after, and they had their 3 children. My mom has since passed on, and I'm left all alone. I've tried for years to get my dad and my siblings to acknowledge me. My stepmom has never really spoken to me. She did send condolences when my mom passed, but that was it. My dad has come to visit me maybe twice a year in the past, especially around the festive season when I was young, but we really don't have a strong relationship. My siblings have always been receptive to my efforts whenever I reach out, but they never initiate communication. Life is really lonely for me, and it hurts because I have half siblings and a dad who just refuses to make an effort to be around me. Besides my aunt and my few cousins, I basically have no one else. Should I keep trying to forge a relationship with my dad and siblings, or should I leave them alone? Anonymous. Okay. This is quite a tricky situation for Anonymous. So, she has got half siblings. She's the firstborn to her dad. Her mom and her dad were not involved. They had a fling, and her mom fell pregnant, and her dad went and married somebody else. So chances are the dad was already in a relationship with somebody else when he had a fling with her mom. And the consequence of that is that the dad used to come visit her, on Christmas, maybe bring her money for clothes. But that was it. As soon as the dad got married, it looks like he wasn't allowed, or he chose not to be involved in her life. Her mom is now passed, and she feels like she's left alone. She's tried to reach out to her half siblings, but nothing is really coming out. Like, the half siblings are not really entertaining her. She always is the one that must make an effort. And she's asking if she should keep trying to forge a relationship with her dad and the siblings, or should she just leave them alone? What advice do you have for Anonymous? And I'd like to hear from people who have been in similar shoes before, right? Slightly similar shoes before, because there are many people out there who have got half siblings. And the siblings who, let's use this analogy. Dad married, has got siblings. So the half siblings in the married home normally would not pay attention to the sibling who is outside of the marriage. How do you manage things like that? How do you manage relationships with half siblings, especially when maybe you were born out of wedlock? Maybe their father cheated and you were born, or their father had you and you were born, In fact, even in marriages, it happens where a man will have a family and have, let's say, 2 kids, right? With that family, in that family. And then there's a divorce that happens. And then dad gets married again and has children with the new wife. And for some reason, the other kids would feel left out because dad is now focusing on his new family, his new marriage. These are dynamics that really happen in our society. Give us a call on 011-883-0702. And how do you advise Anonymous to continue here? Must she keep on pushing to try and have a relationship with his dad? Because chances are the wife also doesn't want the dad to be involved with the child. There's a possibility. How do you manage that? Do you give up when you are the one constantly trying? Or do you keep on pushing? Please give Anonymous some advice. Otherwise, please share your own experiences if you've been in the same shoes.
Hi, Clement. Ngoni Ranbek here. I think Anonymous should not just look at the dead and the half-siblings. I think the dead has got also brothers, sisters, and parents or other relations that might be interested in having a relationship with her. So she should pursue the other ones beyond these immediate ones.
Sure, Clemza, I lived the same situation as Anonymous. Anonymous must not worry. She must just live her own life, leave them alone, continue, build your own family, start your own traditions, and do not look back. If he doesn't want anything to do with you, it's fine. He will come back on his deathbed. They all do. He or she has nothing to worry about. Just live your own life, leave the siblings. Just, if people don't want to be in your life, do not force them.
Clement, there's a saying in Sepedi or Sesotho Setswana. It says, "Sengkhanang senthola morwalo." Yeah. What she must do, she must just ignore them. She's not part of them. And then study how I do not know. She must improve herself, sharpen her life, and continue with life. Yeah. Now, the problem is we don't know how old that person is. You understand? Yeah, if she's still young, then it's a problem. But if he's above 18, no, I don't miracle. Thank you.
Yeah, and I don't think Anonymous is saying that she needs some kind of assistance from the dad. She's not asking for money. She's not asking for help. She's just saying, I would like to have a relationship with my father. And since he started this new family, I don't really know him. He doesn't care much about me. I mean, if you are a man and you've got a child who is older than the children you have in your family, I mean, the very least you can do, the responsible thing to do is to at least acknowledge that, and if possible, introduce your children to their big sister, especially if there's no drama around it. I mean, the Anonymous doesn't seem like she's bringing drama. She's just saying, I'm the first child and I just want a relationship with my dad or with my half siblings. I mean, for her to be the one that actually goes out of her way to reach out to the half siblings, and Wena as their father, you've not even thought about that? Noni, you're calling us from Johannesburg. Good morning.
Hi, Clemzo.
Sure.
My comment is just that I'm also a child who was born when my mother was a teenager and my father was also very young. They never got married.
Yeah.
My father then went on to get married and had other children. I don't know them.
Yeah.
They were much, much younger than me. So I've never made contact as well, simply because I didn't know their whereabouts. I don't know their mothers. It's a whole complicated story. But my thing is that I was blessed to have a very loving grandmother who's my mother's mom, my aunt, For me, that's the family I have. My paternal family, I have no contact with. So the fact that your caller is the one who keeps making contact and the father is not doing anything, because in this instance the father's the older one, right?
Yes.
He should be uniting them if he has interest in them being united. So if she's one who keeps making contact and they don't reciprocate the same kind of longing for her, she must stick to the people who want to be in her life. Like she said, there's no one apart from her aunt and her cousins. Those are her family. The other ones, yes, they are family, but they don't have any desire to reach out or to unite.
Yeah.
So it's just going to keep breaking her heart.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Noni.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt any longing, Noni, to know about like your half siblings?
Not at all. People looking for their dad, and my future would be brighter without my dad. I've never. I felt like I was the luckiest girl being raised by my dad, even now, by my grandmother. Even now, I feel like, oh well, if she wanted to be in my life, she would have been in my life. And I mean, my grandmother made my life really, like, you know. So
Oh, bless her.
I don't feel it. When I see them, I'm happy, you know. But yeah.
Okay, Noni, thank you so much for sharing your story, and bless your grandmother. Yeah, you've got the love, and advice from Noni is anonymous. Just be with the people who love you. Spend time with the people who love you. That's it.
Clement, morning. Thanks for this great topic. I mean, most people, they forget that there was this labor migration, from the rural areas to come and work in the mines and stuff. So a lot of our parents, great parents, left their kids kumahaying, and then they started families here. So why didn't they object when they grew up? Like, okay, I'm not going to be interested. So what has changed now in the 20th century or the 21st century? So to me, that doesn't make sense. Just accept people for who they are. Everybody's got flaws. Maybe your dad is also a child out of wedlock. So, yeah, thanks.
Hi, Clement. There is no advice about this. Trust me, I'm living that pain where I'm trying so hard to connect with my half siblings, and they just, even my half family. What hurts me the most is my house was 10 minutes away from my father, but he went and fetched all his children from Limpopo, from Mpumalanga, from everywhere else, and lived with them. And when I started looking for him, that very same year, he died before I could find out who he was. And now I'm struggling to connect or reconnect, and I'm his only son. All the other kids are girls. And somehow I think they are threatened by me, and because he was a rich guy or something, I think they think I know him or knew him, but I didn't. So to reconnect with half siblings is something painful. People can tell you to move on. You can't move on from it. Yeah. You can't, because it's a part of you that you are being denied. It's sad. I hope Anonymous finds peace. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I don't know. If I had a half sibling, I think I would reach out to them. In fact, I think there's a time I've probably asked, either I had a conversation with my brother about it or asked my mom, like, is there a child outside that you know of from my dad? Because I would want to reach out, and I've been the first child, and I've always wanted like a older sister or older brother. So I get what you're saying, because hypothetically speaking, I think if I were in those shoes, I really would want to find my half sister or my half brother. More of your calls and WhatsApps after the break. It's 11 minutes before 12.
The Sharing Space
On the Clement Manyathela Show.
7:02.
9 minutes before 12 o'clock. Let's go back to your WhatsApps.
Hi, Clement. I feel sorry for Anonymous. It's sad because the dad should be the responsible one who takes that effort, because this is his child. And a lot of men may come for me for this one, but over the years, with experience as well, I've noticed that men tend to give attention to the kids of the woman they're in love with. It doesn't matter whether they're biological or not. They might leave their biological kids and go focus on stepchildren, and give them more attention than their own kids. It happens quite a lot. Yeah.
Hi, Clement. It's so sad. We do really tend to want a sense of belonging. I remember when I was in varsity, I used to call my dad, and he never used to call back. Up until his own father asked me, what do you want from this man? I mean, what is there that you want? Because your mother's providing so much. But it's just that sense of knowing, sense of belonging. You'd think I'd leave it there. No. When I was 18, I went to go and find him at his home. And I got there, Clement, and I realized I didn't miss out on much. My grandparents really provided a loving home for me. My uncles loved me dearly and still do. My aunts, I mean, they provided such a great environment for me that I've never ever fell short of love. And I got to realize that I actually didn't miss out on much. To be honest, I didn't miss out on much. Even the children that he had, that he was living with, oh my gosh. He wasn't a great father, not even to his own children. But I've got a relationship with some of his children, and they're great people, and I appreciate them. But sometimes I even forget about that mention. Sorry.
Hello, Clement. Roger here from Alberton. Clement, I am in the exact same situation. I was my mother and dad didn't really have a fling, but they had a relationship at school. I was the result of that, and then they both went to marry on both sides. On my mother's side of the family, my stepdad treats me differently, and on on the side of my father couldn't care less. But the children that are born within the wedlock, which is my young brother, they can do no wrong. Everything he does is correct. He may have weaknesses. He may talk to my dad however way. It's never a problem. It's only a problem when it comes to me. So, yeah. One time I used to cry a lot, and I used to find myself in very awkward situations until I decided I'm going to accept. I'm literally going to accept the situation and move on.
Sure, yeah, because what else can you do, hey? What else can you do? I don't get it. Why is it so easy to love the children in the marriage and not the children that you had before you got married? Why? Is it the shame of, okay, that was out of wedlock? Because your child is your child, surely. Whether you had that child when you were 16 or you had that child when you were 40, whether you had that child when you were married, that child is your child, and that child is innocent. At the very least, they deserve your acknowledgement. At the very least, some care from you.
Hello, Clement. This is Clement from Pretoria. You can't force people to be your family. It has to be natural. The more she pushes on trying to make them family, the more it's going to hurt. I think we as Africans, we tend to overemphasize the role of family. You can only be family to people who accept you as family. Now, if family by genes is so important, then what happens to adopted children then? So what we mean is that they can be a real family. Depends on how you treat each other, whether they accept you as family or not. Whether you are related by blood or not, it doesn't matter. So she must just move on and leave those people alone.
Hi, Clement. My advice to Anonymous is just move on with your life. Like, honestly, move on with your life. Concentrate on your life. Build your own family. I don't know how old Anonymous is, but like, if you're married, concentrate on your kids, your family. That is your first family, because you can't waste time trying to connect with people who don't want to connect with you. You are going to connect, and then after connecting, they're just going to break your heart. We are already struggling with our blood siblings. Like, honestly, our blood siblings are doing the most. So now imagine half siblings, step siblings. Like, just concentrate on your life, honestly. My blood siblings are a problem. They exclude me on everything. And I've come to terms with that. I've come to peace with that. I'm moving on with my life, my kids, my family, my husband. And that's it. That's enough for me. And that's my family. At least less Christmas presents, less birthday presents and all. Yeah.
So hi Clement, thank you for the show. So I have a half sister. My father had a child out of wedlock. Before he died, he told me, this is my daughter. You have got to connect. But my mother, before she died, she used to say no. Now, being the firstborn, I've encountered the stress that my younger brother has given me. I'm scared to reach out because I'm scared I might get the same, like double for my trouble. So I don't know what advice you can give me there.